Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
I finally saw Moonlight last night, and I liked La La Land. I had a blast with it. I liked that. I've never been a big musical fan, obviously, as I said on the show, but it was cool and it was fun. Moonlight, I thought, was a better movie.
Interesting.
Because I didn't have the same like issues you had with it, Chris, because I didn't find it uneven personally. I didn't think it was trying to cover too much. I thought it was pretty clear. It was just, here's a young guy struggling with his sexuality in this environment in these 3 stages of his life.
Right.
And I really like what Barry Jenkins did. It's a slow-moving, methodical film, and I think that...
And it's segmented.
There's 3 acts.
Right.
8-year-old, 16-year-old, 26-year-old, or whatever the actual ages are. But like, so there's those 3 segments. But I thought Barry Jenkins did a fantastic job in terms of there's a lot of really well-acted scenes with little to no dialogue. That it's all facial emotions, and I was like, wow. And he conveyed some great stuff, in my opinion.
Because one of the character traits was the character didn't speak very much.
Right.
So it's a lot to it's a lot for the actor to do. You
So
have to
tough to
emote with your face.
But
So
there's
tough
also
sell on the director's point too.
Yeah.
but there's also some great other scenes, like the scene where the young kid is at the table with
By the way,
Jim-
all actors should emote with their face.
Yeah. But there's the scene where the young kid is at the table with Janelle Monáe, who I thought did a great job, and Mahershala Ali, who did a great job and deserved the Oscar.
Yeah.
Although he's only in the first act.
Correct.
But there's a scene.
But he lights up that first
He
act.
lights up that first act. There's that scene where they're all sitting at the table, and there's all these looks back and forth between the 3 of them, and they're saying very little, but emotionally they're conveying so much. And that to me is like, that's good directing. I mean, there's obviously very skilled actors, and also the casting of the 3 different guys. These are 3 different people playing the same person, and to obviously, like, we're not the same people we were when we were 16 or when we were 8, but there's a...
We might be.
We might be. Yeah, we have not emotionally matured at all. That's why we're doing the film podcast.
Yes.
But, like, there is a thread of who you are from all of those ages, and so for Barry Jenkins to direct these young actors, and even the 26-year-old guy, that actor, I haven't seen him in much either. There was all these great moments, and I also thought his use of sound... We've talked about it on the show when we talk about the difference, sound mix and sound design, of what the character was hearing in these certain moments where certain sounds would kind of go away and then the other sounds would come up, and it was like, oh, this is what this character is going through. So I thought Barry Jenkins did a phenomenal job, and I'm glad that they won, although I still think Lion is a better film, my opinion, just because I cried all the way through Lion.
Right.
Moonlight was good, and I was really engaged, but it wasn't that, like, grab my heart. Some people had that reaction, but the thing I liked about Moonlight is we've seen the story of a young man struggling with, from boy to teenage, struggling with his sexuality. And
that was only one of the things he struggled with. I mean, there's a lot going on.
That's what I'm saying. We've never seen a young man struggle with his sexuality in that environment. In the environment of drug dealers and a mom that's addicted to crack and no dad, and your only father figure is a drug dealer who's struggling with his own morality. That was great. He wasn't, that was the thing. He's such a layered character. When he's like mad at the mom for smoking crack, she's like, yeah, but you sell it. You're selling it to me. You don't give me this, I'll get it anywhere. You're selling, and he has to face that fact. The kid asks him, are you a drug dealer? And he like bows his head in shame and says, yeah. And the kid gets up and leaves. Like, we've never seen, to my knowledge, we've never seen a story about a kid struggling with being gay in this environment.
Yeah.
And this movie had the potential for the kid in the tough gang neighborhood and the gay story of a runaway, like a collision course of cliche for the ending. I don't want to spoil
They
the
end
ending.
it with a fist bump. You're okay.
Yeah, or something. Or like the gay stories typically end so tragically. I don't want to give away the ending, but I thought in both of these parallel worlds of, the street kid and the gangs and then the kid struggling with being gay, they could have hit so many cliches that we've seen before, and they didn't, which is one of the things I thought it was so powerful.
And which is another drag why this fuck up happened because
they didn't get to share their own. They didn't get their own moment.
They didn't get their own moment, and it's overshadowing. It's overshadowing this great story that needs to be told. And I love Barry Jenkins.
Well, I really think, you know, the good thing over that, though, is even with all the nonsense that happened at the Academy Awards, there is now a lot more awareness of all of these films, including Moonlight. So I think ultimately good will come out of it, and more people will see these movies. And really, honestly, I liked a lot of the movies on this Best Picture list. I mean, if you see Moonlight, I like Manchester by the Sea, Hidden Figures, I mean, Hell or High Water. I mean, the best advice we can give you is go see all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's a lot of
Which
good
one
movies.
wouldn't you go see?
I wouldn't go see Arrival is the one that I would say is the weakest of the bunch. But
I
a
didn't
lot of
see
people
Arrival.
a lot of people disagree with me on
Yeah.
that, and that's fine.
I
but
heard. I
Arrival
didn't
is
like
the one.
Fences.
So
I didn't like Fences.
Fences, yeah.
and Lion I haven't seen yet.
The reason I didn't like Fences is because it was a play,
It's a
and
stage- yeah.
they didn't really adapt it for the screen in
At
the
all.
script, and it was just watching a stage play. I mean, that opening, there was like 4 monologues in like the first 10 minutes. I was
Right.
like,
Yeah, they
oh.
could have just put a
You get
camera in a
a quick
theater.
rewrite would
Yeah.
just let's tighten
Yeah,
this up.
it's when you shoot a play, sometimes you really shoot a play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think all of these movies are fantastic. And Chris, you bring a good point. Like, look what happened. It sucks.
Right.
But I was in a theater last night, Monday night, the Monday after the Oscars, and
Watching the film.
and it was about 80% full.
Oh, on a Monday.
On a Monday
Oh, that's
night.
great.
And you got to remember, too, Moonlight, I remember when I went to see it before the Oscars, it came out earlier in the year. No one cared. I mean, no one went to
Yeah.
see it. It came and went. And even when I was buying tickets to see it before the Oscars, the people in front of me were buying tickets, and they went, did this movie just come out? And the ticket taker was like, nah, it came out a while ago, but now that it's nominated, we're bringing it back into the movie theater.
Yeah.
Which-
it's a funny thing about marketing with I've learned, because I work in television, I don't work in film, but I've learned is like they'll just bury a movie.
Yes.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
just eat it. They don't want to put any money into the marketing. They buried. My wife also did Hail Caesar, and they buried it.
Buried
And
it.
I
They buried it.
really liked Hail Caesar.
Yeah, yeah. And then so
Well,
they'll
the-
just bury a movie.
But this is where, like, the Academy, I'll give them credit, like, for bringing this movie to people's knowledge. And people like Barry Jenkins, I didn't know much about him. I knew Marshall Ali from Netflix, but like all these young actors, Naomi
Luke
Harris,
Cage.
I've known her a little bit, but like this is a great story, and it's worth seeing. And so there was a lot of talk online, like, are the Oscars still, hashtag so white or whatever. This year was a step in the right direction for that, but it's still like, look, it's been 51 years now since an Asian or a Latino woman has been nominated. So like the Academy, like, all white isn't diverse, all black isn't diverse, black and white is not diverse. Diversity is everybody.
Absolutely.
Diversity is everything. And I understand you've only got 5 slots per category, except for Best Picture. So I'd like to see more voices and hear about more actors and stuff like that. And this isn't, like we've talked about this, like Meryl Streep always gets nominated. And I don't want the Academy to do the other thing that they do sometimes is just start...
Never start nominating Meryl Streep again.
Well,
Like, keep
that.
it open.
But like start shunning older actors just for the kids. Like I'm saying there's really, like the woman that was nominated for Elle, I don't know much about her. Like let's find amazing actors and directors and writers of all ages, of all ethnicities, and do that. That's what I'd like to see. So anyway, that's
it's funny. At the BAFTAs, she presented and she said, in 1978, I was voted. They have like a best new actress.
Right.
She's like 19,000, and it's glad to be back so soon.
Yeah. So,
all right, let's get into some of these awards.
Absolutely.